Hello, how are you? How's it going? Today, we're going to be talking about all the books that I read in the month of June. There's a few, so let's get started. Okay, there are many things happening all at once, so let's go over them, shall we? First of all, I'm very warm, so I have a fan. Second of all, there are children outside. They don't have jobs. They don't apparently know how to make an income or like be productive. So they're just outside and playing and screaming and stuff. And I would scream at them, but I feel as though like my grouchy old woman phase hasn't really started yet. So I might put that one on hold, to be honest. Thirdly, I'm stunning. Do you remember in my last video when I was like, how do you have beautiful curly hair and it's beautiful? This apparently, oh my god. I'm serving you like literature professor, but who's also like super punk rock. That's me. I'm serving you not public defense. Instead, I am serving you like the attorney that you have on a retainer that costs you about $3,000 or more per month. Like, I'm just a bitch who apparently gets blowouts. Like, apparently that's just me. Like, you know, just my natural 20-inch hair. It's like no big deal. Who wouldn't want to just stare at me all the time? Like, literally show me anyone. Okay, little boy, don't even dare interrupt me. He kind of matches the background. If you think about it, like, he kind of matches. Look at you. He's like a rag doll. He's okay. June wasn't exactly like a productive reading month for me. Like, it was, because I did read quite a bit. None of it was crazy or too out there. Like, it was all Patreon books or books that were in reading vlogs or other things. Anyway, though, let's get started. Let's start talking about these books. Now, if you're new to my wrap up, welcome. First of all, it's so good to have you here. Being part of the Jordaline community is like an experience. So I welcome you with my open heart. And I hope that in this experience, you open your heart to joining our cult. Anyway, if you're new, how this works is I talk about the books from my least favorite to my most favorite. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. It goes really, really well every single time. Don't even worry about it. And I don't know. Anyway, let's get started. Now, before we really get into the rankings, let's talk about books that I was supposed to read but did not. Both of these books are from my Patreon and I didn't read them, but I do have plans to read them. So I'm just gonna like add them. I'm just gonna like quickly show them, talk about them, and then we'll move on. So the first one is A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is like the ACOTAR novella thing. It's like, I think set at Christmas or something. It's very short. I don't think it would take me long to read it. I might read it tonight. And then the other book that I didn't get to, and I literally had every single fucking intention of doing it, but I didn't, is Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. How stupid is it that like I was like, this is my favorite book of the year. This is like the best book of 2022. Like, fuck all you other bitches. Like, this is the best one. And then like literally upon the reread, I don't reread it. What I did do actually though was deface the book. So I got this idea from Olivia Reads Lattes, or Olivia Reads Lattes. Dude, I'm sorry, wait. Olivia, if you're watching this, you might not be watching this, but if you're watching this, start a YouTube channel called Olivia Reads Lattes and literally just get lattes and then read them to filth. It's such a stupid joke. Anyway, okay. So she inspired me to do this. And so I did. And I did like a whole video and I posted it on my Patreon. So if you want to join, that's always available to you. I literally just defaced it, annotated it, and like, it's stunning. My actual least favorite book from June 2022 was this book, which was also from my Patreon, Hide. Okay, hi, it's editing Jordaline here. My microphone is like literally a piece of shit. Although actually no, it's not my microphone, it's my camera. That's what I've realized. My camera's a piece of shit. Anyway, so Since the audio got corrupted, I'm just going to quickly tell you the synopsis of Hide. So basically, it's about this girl named Mac. She gets this offer to go to this like amusement park to hide and seek in like a competition to get $50,000. Based on that premise, you would think, oh my God, yes, I'm in. I love that. You'd be wrong. First of all, let's begin with fucking Mac. Mac is like uninspiring. Mac is like Monday fucking morning, to be honest, dude. Like, I felt nothing for this character at all. The plot itself, like, you're supposed to be like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And then pretty soon, I mean, although I guess the book isn't very long, but Kiersten White like lets you know right away what the fuck is going on. And then it was also kind of like insta-lovey, but like what I could not stand was the fact that there was quite literally no gore or violence in this book. Like, Kiersten White was like, I wonder if I can write like a cozy slasher. Bitch, what? Like, I was talking to Bear from Et Tu Brody, and they were like, yeah, I was reading the acknowledgements and stuff, and Kiersten White talks about how she was inspired by school shootings to write the book. And I was like, okay, cool, I guess, but like, where is the influence of school shootings in this? Like, there's just so many fucking things about this book that I'm genuinely just confused about. But back to the gore thing. There's no gore. There's no violence. Not like barely any. There's one scene where there is like some gore and it's like, okay, bitch, why would I read a slasher if all of the slashing was done not on the page? Make it make sense, Kiersten. Ugh, so annoying. Like, it's literally a waste. It's literally a waste of time. It's literally a waste of money. I do not recommend you read this. Please don't read this, especially if you're into like slashers and you want like a fun amusement park summer horror thing. This isn't it. This is not it. No. Find something else. I will also say as well, Kiersten White was like, look at me going for my adult debut or whatever. I'm not sure actually if it's her adult debut, but Kiersten baby, no. Your writing still feels young adult. You literally read this book and you think of the 20 to 30-year-old characters as fucking teenagers. All of these characters literally feel like they're 16 years old. I read this and I was like, oh my God, okay, work, Hunger Games. Like, they're all children and they're meant to be adults. It didn't work out. Listen, Kiersten, it didn't work out. Kiersten, it wasn't your time. It wasn't your time. I'm so sorry. It didn't work out for you. Apologies. Maybe actually though, next time just like write a slasher novel. If you want to write a slasher novel, you know what I mean? Next, let's talk about this book, which was so disappointing. I don't even know why. And that is The Hacienda by Isabel Canas. This book was like so disappointing. And yet I can't place why. Because on paper, it should be perfect. But quite literally, it is not. This, in case you don't know, is about this woman named Beatrice. Her father is like murdered by the government. She takes this opportunity to like get married to this dude because she's like, I'm not gonna suffer or whatever. So she moves into this house and just weird shit starts happening. But then there's also this priest guy that she like has a crush on, kind of. I don't even know what to say about it besides the fact that it feels forgettable. Like, I read it maybe in the first week or so of the month, maybe after that actually, and I literally forgot that I read it. In the beginning of the novel, it feels very, very, very Rebecca-esque, which I didn't mind because I like the idea of Rebecca. I haven't read it. I probably should, but whatever. And then it kind of deviates from that with the introduction of the priest who is like also like a witch, which again is kind of cool. It's kind of cool to think about on paper. And yet in execution, not so much. There's this romance that doesn't really need to be there. This mystery that isn't very mystifying. I wasn't like at the edge of my seat like, oh my god, what's gonna happen, who's the bad guy or whatever. Like, I was never thinking that. I was kind of just like going along with the ride. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Let me know in the comments if you've read this and what you thought of it. I would love to know, because I don't know where to place my thoughts. Don't know what to do with them. Moving forward, we only have hits, okay? We only have the hits. Let's start with The Devil of Nonking by Mo Hader. I did an entire reading vlog with this book and then 2 of the other books in this wrap up. So if you're interested in watching or hearing my full thoughts, please go watch that reading vlog. Anyway, this is about this woman named Gray. Gray is obsessed to like an unhealthy amount with this film that she's heard rumor of, and this film apparently has some of like the most disgusting imagery in it. And so Gray is like, let me see it, you know. Hi, it's editing Jordan again. So basically Gray goes to Japan to look for this man that she heard has seen the tape, and so she approaches him and she's like, hey, let me see this tape that like you totally have seen, and like tell me what's on it. And he's like, absolutely not, I'm not gonna do that. Gray then stays in Japan in hopes that she can convince this man to show her the tape. It's a very strange synopsis. Don't judge it on its synopsis, because it is genuinely like a lot of fun. This was a reread for me, and I don't often reread books, but the experience of it was so fun because there's this like familiarity to it where you're like, I'm like going back into like an old memory. I'm going back into a different place, you know, of my life, of the book's life. My thoughts originally on rereading it were that I was much more interested in the beginning of the novel, and that the part that scared me so much when I first read it didn't frighten me that much the second time. Instead, it was a different part of the book that really freaked me out, which was the whole part with Jason. If you've read the book, you know, like, what the fuck, the whole Jason thing fucks me up so much, because I'm like, literally, what the fuck did they do to Jason? I'm not gonna say anything, no spoilers, but overall though, a very fun, very almost like cozy kind of read, but also it was fun to think critically about the book. Not only like how the characters interact, and how there's sort of like this sort of air within Gray of like being entitled to this person's tragedy, this person's trauma. Thought that was interesting. And then also I noticed that with the bodyguard, there was like incredible transphobia. The way that y'all are like talking about this character is a bit derogatory and problematic, but overall a pretty good book. I think originally I gave it 4 stars, and I think on my reread I would give it 3.5, if not maybe 3 stars. I read quite a bit of manga this month actually, and usually I don't really talk about the manga that I read, but you know, it's my fucking content. I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. So we're gonna talk about manga. Are you ready? So the first one that I have is I Am a Cat Barista, Volume 1. Look. Listen, bitch, let me sell this to you. This is about this like little mystical cafe. People who are like in need, people who are maybe like struggling or need like a place to relax or unwind or vent. This little magical cafe that is run by this like sexy cat boy who'll pop up and he'll like serve them what he thinks they need in that moment. It's just some of the sweetest fucking shit I've ever read. The art style is gorgeous. And then the realism on this specific thing. Do you not just want to reach through that page and grab that fucking cafe mocha? Like, it looks so good. It's just so sweet. If you need something that's gonna like maybe like pick up your spirits, or just be something that's like really, really fucking cute and make you want to die a little bit because it's so cute, I would recommend this. It's so good. It was so fun. I cannot wait to read volume 2. I'm so excited. Next, let's talk about this book, which was also in the reading vlog that I mentioned earlier, and that is A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. This is about a family that invites a camera crew and like producers and everything into their home to be the stars of this reality TV show about one of the daughters and her apparent demonic possession. I feel as though this is like a modern horror classic in terms of like the booktube, bookstagram, book talk community. Like everyone loves this book, and like I'm part of that team too. I'm like, woo, go, head full of ghosts, you know? I'm like a little cheerleader. But this book is not without its flaws. The ending of the book, the depiction of mental health, I don't know how I feel about it. I still don't know how I feel about it. Like in the vlog, I was talking about how I was very conflicted on like whether or not my critical reading of the book was like useful or needed, or if it's meant to just sort of be like junk food for the mind. But at the same time, it's like a meta book. It's like, I don't know. I still don't know. But either way, the characters are super fucking compelling. You get very, very attached to them very, very quickly. Like you fall in love, especially with the narrator, who is this like older woman talking about her childhood. Her point of view is so interesting, not only as like a child, but also as like an adult. The dynamics of the family, the dynamics between like the mother and the father, and then like the father and the daughters, and etc, 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 is also super fucking interesting. And then there's also this comparison between mental illness and possession, and how, you know, mental illness is like demonized or whatever. To me, in my opinion, it's like a very fun book, but at the same time, it's like very weighty. It holds a lot of messages in it, and I'm just trying to like decode the messages. What are you hiding? If you want to hear more of my thoughts, because I say them much more eloquently in the vlog, please go watch it, go check it out if you haven't already. Hello again. Okay, the audio got corrupted. So basically next I'm going to be talking about Blue Flag, which I buddy read with my BFF, my bestie, Sam from My Manga Space. So that is Blue Flag volumes 1 to 8. Blue Flag is a true love triangle, like a real love triangle. It's none of this bullshit where it's like two guys pining after one girl. No, a true love triangle is gay as fuck, and this is gay as fuck. So we're following this one guy whose name is, I think, Ichiban, and he is sort of approached by this girl in his class. I think her name is Futaba. She's like, hey, I have a crush on Toma. I'm like really in love with him, so if you could just like help me like get closer to him. Ichiban and Toma used to be childhood best friends, and they've kind of grown apart, and the story focuses on the three of theirs relationships. Futaba has a crush on Toma, and then Toma has a crush on Ichiban, but then Ichiban has a crush on Futaba. It's wild. It's wild. Oh my gosh. Mainly I love it for fucking Toma, for this fucking guy, because not only is he super fucking hot, but also he's just like the sweetest little angel in the entire world. And like the whole time while reading it, I just kept being like, please, please be with Ichiban, like please. I just want to see them together. If you do read it, you will cry, I think, at multiple points, because I cried. I sobbed like very unprettily, that's not a word, throughout the whole thing. It's so emotional. There's so much like trauma packed inside of it. Not only that, but like discussions about like homophobia and like passing. Now, I know that a lot of people don't like the ending of Blue Flag. I, however, love it. I love it. The only thing I don't like is one character at the end. The whole series, we're made to think that this one character is a certain way, and then the end, it's kind of like, surprise, I'm not. Like, that's the only thing I don't like. But other than that, I fucking love the ending. It was so good. It was so good. I would give this series, I think overall, maybe like a 4 stars. I love it. I love it. I just literally finished this like before filming, and I can't even tell you how much I loved it. I loved it so fucking much. And that is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Emily Henry fucking hits it out of the park every single fucking time. Every fucking time. The bitch, first of all, the bitch really knows how to write banter. Before I get too far, let me just tell you, this is about this girl named Nora, who is a literary agent. She's kind of like hard and fast, you know what I mean? Like she doesn't fuck around. She does not find out, okay? She doesn't do any of that. She loves her career. She focuses on her career, and her love life is constantly sort of like a mess. Like, dudes are constantly like, I met this girl at a Christmas tree farm, and so I'm gonna be moving upstate to live with her and her family. Nora is sort of like, well, fuck me and my drag, I guess. And then she meets this editor or other literary agent named Charlie. Things happen. Anyway, like, there is something so beautiful and appealing to me about a bookish man who is grumpy and like snarky. Like, I just love it. I love it. Oh my god. Charlie is so hot. And not only that, but like the narrator for this book, her voice for Charlie, literally fucked me up. Literally gagging with a spoon. But like I was saying, Emily Henry's banter and like dialogue is so spot on. Like, it's not realistic, of course, but it's so fucking funny, so endearing, and like, oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good. I love it so much. I've heard people say that like this is like their least favorite of hers. I don't know why. People say that it's like not a romance novel. Instead, it's like a novel about sisters. Bitch, it can be both. Why? What do you mean? It can be both. It's both. I felt as though there was like so much romance, but there was still so much also about the familial relationship between Nora and her sister. So I don't know why people are complaining or why people are rating it low. Like, it can be both a novel about sisterhood and a novel about finding love. Like, where's the confusion? Anyway, that's just my opinion. I loved this. I loved it so much. It was so much fucking fun. It was so fucking cute. By the way, I also read this for my Patreon Smut Club. We read this for June, and I'm so excited to do our discussion to talk about everything, because so good. Anyway, if you're interested in Emily Henry, or if you haven't read any of her stuff, please check her out. She's so fucking good. We have 2 books left. The next one is another manga of Shuzo Oshimi's newest work, and that is Welcome Back, Alice. This book is interesting. It's about this kid. He's like in elementary school, maybe like middle school, and he has this friend named Kay. Kay is kind of like a little pervert. Kay is constantly like, hey, do you masturbate? Like, and our main character is like, I don't know what that means. I'm embarrassed or whatever. The main character also has a crush on this girl, and one day, walking home from school, he looks down an alleyway, and who the fuck does he see? Who does he see? He sees Kay, this little bitch, Kay, making out with his crush. La drama. And so he's like, oh my god, betrayal. And soon after that, Kay disappears. He like transfers schools. He like leaves town. And then we go into the future a few years where our main character is going into high school. And who shows up with this new character? This new student. But then the girl also has the same name as Kay, and we find out that Kay is now female presenting. This book is wild, like wild. This is only the first volume, and it goes places. It goes places. And Shuzo Oshimi's art could not get more stunning. Like, oh my god, this man lives and breathes in my dreams. What does that even mean? I love him so much. I love his work so much. I think he's my favorite mangaka, because he just does such beautiful, thought-provoking, and yet horrifying things with his manga, and I love it. There's a little afterword in the book where he talks about why he decided to write this particular story. It's unclear if Kay is trans or if they're gender non-conforming. So in the afterword, Shuzo Oshimi says that he's always admired men who could display their sex drive so heroically. So the task then was to examine, confront, and deconstruct one's sex drive and masculinity. I hope to make some headway on that course in this work. Listen, if you're interested in Shuzo Oshimi, or say you've read Blood on the Tracks and The Flowers of Evil, check out his newest stuff. Volume 2 of this just came out, and I'm so excited to read it. The last book, we're not even going to talk about for that long, because you probably already see it coming, and that is No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Neville. This was also one of the rereads from that reading vlog. So, if you don't know, this is about this woman named Stephanie. She moves into this new house. She's broke. She's barely working and she literally cannot afford jack shit. She's living in this house and she is renting a room. And on the first fucking night, this bitch starts to hear like little scratching under her bed and whispering coming from her fucking fireplace. It's like haunted as fuck. And that's where the novel begins. And it is wild. It's wild. Please watch that reading vlog if you want to hear my full thoughts, because I can't even go into all of them because I have a lot of thoughts about it. In my reread, I noticed so many more things. I noticed things that I completely fucking missed the first time. Not only that, but I feel as though I understand better like what happened and like who Stephanie is as a character, both in the first part and in the second part. Dude, I love this. I loved it so much. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna get scared. I'm not even scared like the second time reading it. Bitch, joke's on me. I was fucking scared. I was just as scared the second time reading it. Like, it's so creepy. It's so fucking creepy. If you have not checked this out, if you haven't read it, please do. Especially if you're a woman. I feel as though this book, surprisingly, encapsulates really well how it feels to be around sort of like cis, toxic men. Do you know what I mean? Which is surprising because it's written by a man, but you know, no judgment. Love this. I love it. I love it. Please check it out if you haven't. Check it out if you haven't. My friends, my family, my familia. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them. I would love to know your opinions. Don't forget also to hit subscribe because we talk about spooky shit. We talk about creepy shit. We talk about Alice and welcoming her back and shit. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you in my next one. Bye! Literally, oh, dude, I do not want to ever not have my hair look like this. Like, it should be a law that my hair should just constantly and only ever look like this. Like, what the fuck? The thing is, I don't even know what the fuck I did. Like, I just did what I always do. And yet for some reason today, it's just, she's just giving. She's serving. Why? We'll never know. It's a mystery. A mystery.